surprise.
Shut up, Carol. Shut up.
Everybody join us in pledging. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. Back again for another, not an SRO room. One member of the audience, but she works here, so I guess it's not voluntary. Anyway, let's approve the minutes of the April 26, 2016 regular meeting.
I'll move.
Carol made the motion, Rowdy seconds. Is that all yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Mr. Bill, nothing signed in?
No, sir.
Okay, we didn't have any comments. Information reports, we have Angie Pritchard. We'll talk about community eligibility options. She takes care of our food service program. Glad to have her.
I'm going to give you guys a little. I haven't been here for a while, so I thought it might be a good idea
Good.
to kind of let you know what's going on in our food service world. So I gave you a copy of the new CEP data for the upcoming 2017 school year. And this is the statewide numbers of identified students who qualify for free meals. And these children would receive some kind of service with Department of Human Services, SNAP, that kind of thing, that would, they were identified as being needy. So if you will turn over to Lincoln County, we are at 93.79% needy in the county. So that makes us the 5th most needy county in the state.
What did you say, the 5th?
I think we've got Clay, Mingo, McDowell, and maybe Webster counties are more than us. But
Explain to us, Angie, how a school could be over 100%.
okay. So the identified students are students that have qualified through the Department of Human Services or a program like that. They've been identified as receiving benefits. So in the past, before we did CEP, we did applications and we got some children who qualified, even though their parents worked, they qualified for free or reduced based on their application information, low-income working parents. So they know that, they realize we're not going to get that with these identified students, so they give us a multiplier. And it's the same for everybody throughout the state, 1.6 multiplier. And when you multiply the number of identified students using the multiplier, we come out at 93.79%, and some schools come out over 100%.
So you take the 64.21% from Mingo County, multiply it by the 1.6 to get.
Yes. So when we started out with this, our reimbursement, we were getting at, I think it was 77.79% free reimbursement. So now I'm going to reapply. I have reapplied every year because our numbers keep going up. So I will reapply and we should be locked in for 4 years at the 93.79%. So if you look at, I also gave you our reimbursement rate, the rates of reimbursement. So a child that is receiving a free meal, we get reimbursed at $3.09 for severe, we're considered severe need. Whereas a child who's on paid status, we get reimbursed 31 cents a meal. So the difference between $3.09 and 31 cents. So the 93% reimbursement is a big deal for us.
Now, when you paid status, that would be some,
We
one
did
that
not qualify.
Would typically have to pay if you didn't have this system, right?
Yes, they were not identified in any way. They're still considered a paid. Even though we're feeding everyone free, we're not getting reimbursed for everyone free. So, does anyone have any more questions about the?
Well, I mean, haven't we been under some kind of a federal program where everyone, because we feed a very specific bland lunch or meal plan to our children that's supposedly healthier, that no one pays? Is that not the case?
No,
I haven't
that's
paid a
not-
lunch bill in a
that's-
while.
Well, that's because of this,
This-
not what
this.
they were, it's this
Community eligibility program is what it's called, and instead of doing applications like we used to do in the past, it's based on community needs. So by these numbers, they feel that our community is needy enough to merit feeding all of our children free.
But that has nothing to do with what's
No.
on the menu.
No. Now, we did get, if you look on that reimbursement rate, down at the bottom, there is 6 cents. You see that? For each month, it shows federal meal pattern incentive reimbursement rate. So we get an extra 6 cents for every meal that we serve for meeting the
Obama guidelines.
Those guidelines.
Yeah. I knew there was something, because we received a presentation in the last couple of years about why we were feeding the kids what we were feeding them.
Looks good to me, I'm hungry.
Wait till you see all of it.
Yeah, the salad box.
So on the other side, I gave you our participation, I printed out a participation report for the most recent month, the month of April. So we can see how the kids are eating. So countywide, for lunch, they are eating 78.14% of our children are eating. And for breakfast, 75.29% are eating. So,
Where are you seeing this from? On the second
on the
page?
second page, that's for the county totals.
You have to bear with it.
That's all right. But the most interesting thing, and I have had people to call me from other counties and even from other states about our lunch participation rates at Lincoln County High School. If you look on the last page, the very last line, well, the second to the last line, the average daily participation rate at 87.63% at a high school. I mean, it's really unheard of. And people will say, well, how does your high school have a higher participation rate than grade schools? Because normally as children get older, they won't eat. But I think that it's everything that we did was putting in the choices at the high school. Because we now have 4 choices. We have like just a regular meal. We call it the Blue Plate Special, but it's like a cooked dinner that you might have at home. And then we have a pizza line with a different pizza every day of the week. And then we have a full line salad bar or theme bar. So every day of the week we have a different thing. Like one day we have taco bar, one day we have Asian bar, we have Italian bar. So, and then we put in a fast line for the kids. They were wanting to go to the gym and play. They didn't want to take time to eat and socialize in the gym. So we put in a fast line. So they get like a sandwich and kind of a grab-and-go kind of meal that they can take with them, bottled water to take to the gym. And our participation rates just skyrocketed when we did all that. The kids
You're
like
telling me
cheese.
if I quit packing lunch for my daughter who's a junior, she won't go hungry?
She should not go hungry.
She should go and find something she
There
likes
should
to
be
eat?
something there to eat.
If you want to socialize, you
All right.
need to get a sandwich.
Sandwich would be better than one I pack. I mean, that's like peanut butter jelly.
So, and I don't think I was here last year, but we did receive a grant last year, and we used some of that grant money to put in the fast line at the high school. If you look at the 14-15 equipment grant awards at Lincoln County High School, we got $6,606 for a service kiosk, and that's what we used to put in that fast line. And then for Duval, we got $14,128 for a combi oven, which is a really great piece of equipment that the cooks love. They said they wish that's all that they could use that for everything. So that was a couple of good things. And then this year I only applied for one piece of equipment this year, and that was for Guyan Valley Middle School. So, and we got it, so we got $6,750, and that is going to be, we had so much success at the high school with the choices that the idea is to try to give them more choices at the middle school, because those kids, like, they're that age where they're real picky and hard to please and like choices. So we're gonna put in the cold bar, and it's gonna have different choices every day, like different salads and different sandwiches, and everything will be packaged up so that it'll meet the guidelines, be reimbursable when they go past the line, but that way they're gonna have a choices, and then they could have the main entree also, but they'll have a choice of all these salads and sandwiches and stuff also. And we hope that helps over at Guyan Valley.
Well, get back to, like, on the menu, in order to qualify for whatever the federal requirements are, some of these, like the pizza line, is it more than just pizza?
Oh, yeah. Every
What would a
line.
typical meal,
Yeah.
like a pizza, what would it have in it?
Every line has to meet all of the requirements for the meal pattern. So the pizza line is, we'll have like a different pizza every day, and we'll have, actually they get off the salad bar, but we'll have like marinated vegetables or a Caesar salad, and then a fruit. We'll have a variety of fruits, but there'll always be a fruit on the menu besides what's on the salad bar. So they'll get fruit, vegetable. The grain is in the bread, it's a whole grain bread crust and a homemade pizza, and then the meat toppings and cheese. So it meets all the guidelines.
So it's more than just get a slice
Yeah,
of
it's a
pizza.
tray.
I know we've seen some photos of recent of some of the different options of pizza where they've tested them, I guess, weren't they?
We did a taste test.
Good.
Yeah. So that was another thing.
I'm getting hungry now.
It's another thing I was going to talk to you about.
Well, let me ask you something before we move along. Just looking at the meal participation rates by school, Guyan Valley seems to have a pretty high participation rate as it is. Is there a reason that you felt the grant money, I mean, was there something about the situation there that allowed you to qualify for that grant? I mean, I haven't looked at all the others, but I looked at Guyan Valley just to see if there was something jumped out at me.
One thing, I get a lot of people, if I get complaints, a lot of it comes from Guyan Valley. So,
Probably my dog is a Guyan Valley. It's a different dog. How about West Hamlin? You get complaints out of West Hamlin, that covers all three of them.
but the kids, if you're ever over there at lunch, you got that window down in the basement, and the kids are like lined up all the way up the stairs and around and everything. It's really not a good situation. So, and I put that, when I wrote the grant, that was one of the things that I put in there, that it would alleviate that and make a safer situation, and kids can get through the line quicker if they have another line.
Is there one, right now, just one line?
It's
Is that
just
what
one
you're
line.
saying?
They have it, they get two choices, but it's like they got this here and this here, so.
Because
it's
when
not
I was
really
at Guyan
good.
Valley, you had your meal line, and then you had salad bar that had everything under the sun on it, and I mean, the choke point was when you signed in your lunch number. And once you got through that, people dissipated. It was about, I don't know percentages, but your line wasn't bad. I didn't realize that the line backed up the stairs and
Yeah.
probably the main hallway. I know they have multiple lunch periods there as well.
Yeah.
Still, trying to feed half the school at one time, or a third or a quarter. Thank you.
And then, the taste test, I thought that was a really nice thing, and it seemed like the kids really enjoyed it. I got to go out to Hamlin, and, everyone was participating out there. But the reason, well, you know, I like to get their input and see what the kids like and let them feel like they have a choice. But I also, put that in my, wellness action plan for this year. So, on the nutrition part, there are two components to the nutrition part. So, one of our goals was for the food service staff to develop new menus and recipes that meet the meal pattern guidelines. And then we want something that is, not only meets the guidelines, but is acceptable to the children. So I put on there that the schools would conduct student taste tests. So with the taste test, we were able to do that. We're standardizing those recipes. We met both components of our wellness plan with that. And I thought it was a good activity. The kids, they were all delicious. I liked them all. So, and we also involved our parent volunteers in that. They came and helped serve our pizzas. We had parent involvement. Spinach. That was my favorite.
Now, do you, at any school or whatever, do you still have a traditional kind of pizza that's not like that, like pepperoni or something?
We still have those, yeah. We will
Give you a
have those.
hint, the vegetable pizza, not a hit.
A lot, they didn't, well, a lot of kids probably
Give me
turned
a-
off by veggie.
You want a taste test that's coming directly from kids through me? Just telling you, veggie pizza, not a hit.
Well, that's because they're so used to
Pizza.
pepperoni.
They
You
were
say
good.
pizza,
They were
they want,
good.
they want sauce and they want mushroom, I
They
mean,
had pepperoni.
pepperoni and sausage.
But some of the kids liked it, and, or they told me they did.
You have to try. I mean, look at the eating patterns we have in southern West Virginia. They're ingrained for generation after generation after generation.
Yeah.
And if you
It's
don't
just-
start trying to change the patterns now, when they're young, you never will. I mean, how many of us eat very differently now than we did as children?
So that's about it. I did, I want to thank the board for, giving me Amy. It's my clerk. She is wonderful, and she's a very talented young lady. She's also a professional photographer. So this, Office of Child Nutrition was, sponsoring a contest. So, the Terrific Tray and Star Salad Bar contest. So I was allowed to submit one entry from each county was allowed to submit one entry for a salad bar and one for a tray. And we don't know the winners yet, but Amy was gracious enough to offer to go out and photograph for me some of our trays and salad bars, and I was just really impressed with the way they turned out and wanted to share it with you.
So that isn't a posed photograph, it's just a,
That's ours. That came from our school. That came from Guy Valley.
no, I'm just saying, did you pose this for the photograph, or was this
I would
someone's
say
kid?
she is a professional photographer. But
Did
it
you
is
pull a kid's lunch tray out of his hand and take a picture, or does it always look that good?
I hope it looks that
They all-
good. It should. You want to do it, Bill?
Just tell me when to clean.
Okay. This is Guy Valley's entry. You can just go. Came from Duval.
Orange tray.
It's got the little yellow jacket on there. It's kind of a giveaway. It's Duval's. And this is Lincoln County High School. This actually came off of our Asian bar. And this is Hamlin, PK8. And this is West Hamlin. And the salad bars, I believe that's West Hamlin. That's our winning salad bar.
Looks good.
We had our own little competition within the county, so they kind of got into it. That's Lincoln County High School. That's on a daily basis, that's out there. And that's Hamlin. Beautiful. Duval. And Guy Valley. Those are the schools that participated.
That's right.
I agree 100%.
Now when they tell you the food's not good, you can say, I know that.
Saw a picture of it.
No, when they tell me, Dad, I'm not gonna eat it, I'm gonna make him a sandwich.
So that's all I have, if you guys have any.
Okay, anybody have any particular questions?
No, thank you very much.
Let me just, now this is during the school, do we have any thoughts about this summer, what we're doing, or are we doing anything, or?
We're gonna have a site at Lincoln County High School. We're gonna have a satellite site at West Hamlin. I guess the whole region will be brought into West Hamlin, Jeff.
Yes, extended school year. We'll be the same.
So they've contacted me from the Hamlin Library, and they want me to satellite some meals over there, so I thought that might help our numbers. I thought it would be a good,
So you're
I
saying
met with her today,
at the 2 locations, is that what you're saying?
2 school locations.
Now,
Go ahead. What times do you serve, like, during the summer?
We'll serve breakfast like around 8 when the kids first get there, and then we'll serve lunch probably 11:30 till 12:30.
is this only open for students, children?
Anyone 18 and under, it's free for anybody can walk in off the street that's 18 and under.
They don't have to be in a preschool program or not?
Nothing, they don't have to, they don't even have to live here.
Mr. Curry can't go out there and get anything.
No.
Are you saying he's over 18, see?
Yeah. I
You
get about
don't
that.
require a birth certificate.
He can put on a tattoo or something.
I bought something at Lowe's last night and they asked me if I was over 18.
Weren't you proud?
Anyone can be outside the county and come in, or they?
Yeah, anybody, it's an open site, and anybody 18 and under can eat free.
Now, do you keep a record of, no matter who it is? I mean,
No, we
for
just, we don't
numbers?
have to have a name. If it's an enrolled site, we would, and we'd have to do free and reduced applications and everything like that, but we run an open site, so
I
it's
mean,
just.
do you have to count the number of
We,
meals that you're
yes,
serving?
yes, we have a point of service
matter
that
where
has,
they're from.
we have to have a site coordinator that's responsible for doing the point of service.
And you said a minute ago that you hope by having the satellite site to get your numbers up? What do you mean by that?
Well, if we're gonna pay to have a cook and buy all this food, then we want to feed as many kids as we
Okay.
can to get reimbursed for it, because that's where our money comes back in from.
So it'd be a good
So-
idea if there were a paper in the county, it'd be a good idea if the paper pointed out these sites and when they'd be
I do.
open to feed people and stuff.
I'm required, actually, I'm required to run that, and I do.
Oh, you gotta
Yeah,
pay
I do,
to
I run
vote.
it every
I was
year.
thinking-
Yeah, and
I was thinking as a
It's a
public
requirement.
service.
And we do it at no cost, by the way. Patty does that at no cost, so, you know, we're ahead of you.
No, I think if it helps us to get our numbers up, there are how many kids in this county that don't eat during the summer?
I mean, it's amazing, we can't get them to come out
We're
and.
just,
Do we do anything? Do we send anything home? Can we do all calls? I mean, those are cheap,
we
right?
name it, we do what we try. and we
I
still
think flyers up last year.
A lot of them, I guess, is just getting there.
Yeah.
It's because I think we're so rural that, you know, it's not worth it to bring a kid, you know, from up, they had a 4 mile into Hamlin for a lunch.
Well, I'm not that far, and I've got 7, I'm gonna load up every
That helps us.
Carol will be there.
Transit charge. For instance, could a student get on Tri-River Transit and come in for what? What's the charge?
It's $1 one way.
$1.
One
Be
way.
a good deal.
So they'd be out $2 on a meal. Probably would work.
All right.
Shoot, they can
Thank
come
you.
down in the morning, hang out all day, get 2 meals.
Man, yeah, they can do that.
Play basketball, tennis, baseball, softball, swim in the river.
God, sponsor approved.
We're very thankful, Angie, for all you do there and the food service program.
Well, thank you so much.
Seems to be moving real well, and we get a lot of compliments on it.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now everybody's hungry. That was my only complaint, Mickey. If you're gonna have a thing like this, you ought
There
to.
should be food.
She should have to bring us in a representative meal to prove that they're this good.
We'll work on this.
Next time, yeah, just bring us one of the grab and goes. That'd be easy, right?
Thanks, Angie.
Have a good evening, thank you.
Bye, Angie.
Okay, let's go to the administrative section. Okay, motion please.
So moved.
Ms. Wilkins. Second by Mr. Kerr. Mr. Meeker.
All right. Item A, out-of-county student transfer to the 2016-2017 school year. Item B, school volunteers who on occasion may also serve as bus chaperones for athletic events, academic competitions, or school outings, and have completed volunteer orientation. Item C, following textbooks as recommended by the Textbook Adoption Committee for a 6-year adoption period. Textbooks being purchased through excess levy funds. And that's it.
Okay. Anybody have anything in particular about those? I think Kevin went over the textbook, and the process and the various things about those once before. Got an idea about those. Okay, nothing further. Call for question. Is that an all yes vote on the administrative items? Yes. Okay, finance, motion please. I'll move. Rowland?
Second.
Barry? Okay, Bill?
Item A, schedule of invoices totaling $872,307.06. Attachment, invoices available for public review at the county office. Item B, financial statements for the month ending March 31st, 2016 is an attachment.
I think you've given that to us here from your new office, haven't you?
Been in a lot.
All right, thanks, Bill. Anybody have any questions? You had a chance to look over. Okay. Is that an all yes on the finance items?
Yes.
All, okay, we have a first amendment. Have a motion, please. Second motion, Ralph seconds it. And back to Bill again.
Okay. Item A, transfer of professional personnel. Item B, transfer of service personnel. Item C, employment of extracurricular athletic personnel. And item D, employment of extracurricular athletic personnel pending renewal of coaches' authorization.
Does anybody have any questions about those?
I'd like to request an executive session to discuss a personnel matter before we vote on that.
Okay, Mr. Baker's requested personnel, an executive session for a personnel matter. Second by Mr. Curry. Got an all yes vote to go into executive session?
Yes.
Yes.
The personnel matter at 6:29.